to the EA Creator Network for the early access event for the game code for the LoveStruck Expansion Pack. You can use my creator code Misticalravensim when purchasing any Sims 4 DLC on the EA app or thesims.com to support me and my channel. Thanks so much for your support. And without further ado, we are jumping right back into our LoveBound mini-series with Melinda and Andrew, and as you can see, they have just recently finished having themselves a little bit of a woohoo, and I think she is possibly about to pop the question and see if maybe he wants to move in with her. She is ready to take the next step in their relationship and wants to move in with him. She is hoping that they can share their lives together, and now that they have finally rebuilt their trust with one another, she is bold enough to go ahead and pop that question with him. So she's just asking him if he'll move in, and he has said yes. So we are going to have them move in together here. So we're going to bring him on over into our house, and we are going to be living together. I am going to need to go ahead and get him set up with a career. So we will go ahead and get him set up in all of that. But it does look like Andrew does like stories because she's going ahead and telling him stories and things, and he seems to really like that. They really do get on really well. On top of the fact that they are very seriously happy in their romantic endeavors, they, on top of that, are really close in their friendship department as well. And so I do think that at some point they probably will end up becoming best friends just because they are so close. And they see each other as, you know, best friends on top of the fact that, you know, they are so in love. So I am just going to go ahead and look through some of these careers. Chocolatier. Ooh, that's, you know, interesting. He is a good sim. He is cheerful and he is romantic. I think maybe a chocolatier could be fun for him. Let's go ahead and sign him up for that as his career. I think he could make chocolates because that would kind of fit into that romance category for him. And maybe he would make sweets for sweets. So we will set him up for that. He's feeling really playful right now from telling stories with her. She's feeling kind of flirty, but he's feeling pretty playful. And so they are just going to go ahead and have a little bit of a conversation here. And then when they are done with that, maybe I'll go ahead and get them working on some of their skill stuff that they need to do for their jobs. So I do think that he needs to do some things for working with his chocolatier thing. I think he needs to build some charisma, so I'll have him work on some of those things. And I know that she has to work on some, I think, handiness for her career because she did get, I believe, a promotion. We'll have to look and see. I can't remember from the last episode, but we will take a look at that and see what they need to work on for their careers and get them working on some of their skills. Also, we need to work on our aspiration, and for that we have to get gold on a date, achieve level 7 of romance, perform 25 romantic gestures, and woohoo in 3 different locations. So we will be working on that as well, and then we will hopefully be able to meet that second level of Melinda's aspiration for her to get the Romantic Explorer aspiration met. I do think that's going to take us a little bit of time because we do have to do all of those aspirations and things, like all of those different things that we have to do for that. So it's probably going to take us a little bit of time to meet all of those things in the second goal. And of course we do have to go all to the 3 different locations to woohoo, but we're going to get her out here paying some bills, and then we will go ahead and we will start working towards some of our things for our aspiration. It does look like Andrew just reached romance level 2, which is fantastic, so that is going to help him out quite a bit. Maybe I could actually even consider at some point changing him into like a romance career in the future. That might help him get his romance up some. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. But it does look like we have someone that has come to the door, and he is a B-lister. She is just going to go ahead and ask him for an autograph and see if she can maybe get a photo from him and ask him if she can possibly get a hug because clearly she seems to be a fan. She does have to go to work soon, so she's just going to interact with this guy a little bit and try to attempt an introduction, and then she'll be heading herself off to her work shift because she will have to go in and work and obviously make herself a little bit of money. I am hoping that she's going to be getting another promotion soon, or a promotion soon, and so that'll be fantastic. I don't think that Andrew has work today because he just got his career lined up. So we will just be working around the house here with Andrew and letting him kind of tend to himself and skill building and things of that nature. So while she's at work, we'll just be dealing with Andrew. He's come over here. It's like he saw her talking to this guy and he's like, what are you doing talking to him? And it's almost like he started to get pangs of jealousy. Buddy, you don't have to worry. You really don't. She is totally devoted to you. So she has headed off to work. He's going to go ahead and come over and attempt an introduction to this guy, ask for an autograph, and do all of those things as well. And then after that, I think we're probably going to have Andrew go ahead and get himself something to eat. He is starting to feel a little bit hungry, and so we will want to go ahead and make sure that he just takes care of himself here. He's just shooting a little bit of a selfie with this B-lister, and so we do want to make sure that we can, let him take in being around someone that's a superstar as well. And then I will probably send this guy home because I don't really know why he's invited himself to our house. We clearly don't know him. And honestly, Andrew is trying to attempt an introduction, but it's really not working all that well for him. It's not like he can really hold a conversation with him because he can't really attempt the introduction. So it's not like they can actually get to know one another or anything like that. So there's no point in him hanging around the house. So we'll send him on home and we'll just let Andrew kind of take care of himself. And that'll be perfect. So we'll have Andrew go to the washroom, get himself something to eat here, and then we will deal with some skill building and working towards his career things that he needs to do. So he's just going to go on in here and grab himself a little bit of leftovers. Thankfully, Melinda does enjoy cooking, and so there are lots of things in the fridge that he can grab to eat, which is wonderful for him. And so it's not like he has to go in there and make himself anything. He can just grab something that she's made for him with love. And so he's feeling really cherished right now, which is wonderful. All right, so we will go ahead and assign the right side of the bed here to Andrew as well. And then he'll know where he needs to rest, because I don't want them obviously sleeping in separate areas. Considering they are in a relationship, they can actually sleep together. And then we are going to also probably have him come out and just check on the plants here a little bit. It doesn't look like they are ready to evolve, but they don't have enough gardening skill to evolve those just quite yet. So we'll have to let them get their gardening skill up before they're going to be able to evolve those plants out there. All right, so he has gone ahead and done that. We're just going to have him work on practicing his speech a little bit and get some charisma skill. I do think he needs that for his job. And then once he's done practicing some charisma, we'll go ahead and let him get a little bit of rest, because it is starting to get a little bit late. As we know, Melinda works her shifts really late in the evening, and then she usually comes home around like 3 o'clock in the morning. So we'll send Andrew off to bed soon and let him get some rest, and then Melinda will come home. She'll probably need to get herself a bite to eat, and then she'll head herself off to bed as well. So he's just practicing some charisma here, trying to get that skill up. He's feeling fine. He's in an okay mood. He doesn't feel one way or the other about it. He just knows that it's something that he needs to do. I kind of wish he was feeling a little bit more confident about it, if I'm being honest. But, we can't really complain. Alright, so I have decided that I do want to change his career from the chocolatier to the romance career that came with the new pack. So I'm going to give him the job as the romance consultant. I think that's going to help him gain some of the romance skill. So I'm going to go ahead and give him that job instead of the chocolatier. So we're going to go ahead and switch jobs. It does look like he has a work task that he needs to work on. So we will have him in the morning. I don't know. Maybe does he have time? He's maybe not that sleepy right now. We'll have him come and go ahead and start working on his work task now. He can go ahead and get that squared away. And then once he's finished with his work task, we'll go ahead and we'll get him into bed. So I'm just going to have him come sit down here and get on the computer and do his work task. He has to study modern love. And so he's going to go ahead and study that for his work task. And once that's complete, we'll get Andrew to go ahead and go get himself a little bit of rest. And then we will wait for Melinda to come home from work. So while he is studying this, we will just kind of speed this along here and let him get that done. His needs are actually in pretty decent shape. I mean, he is starting to get a little bit tired, but his energy level is still currently in the green. So he's just going to go ahead and work on this modern love study, and that is going to get his romance skill up. That is currently what is building while he studies this, which is fantastic. That is what I was hoping for. So his romance skill is going to be building while he works on this career path, and that is fantastic news, because as we know, we do want that to be building. And hopefully when he interacts with Melinda in regards to his career things as well, that will help her skill to build as well, because she needs her skill to start building too for her aspiration. I think she has to get to romance skill level 7, and currently she's only at a level 4. So hopefully interacting with him in the romance things when he has to do his career things, that will help her to build as well. So we are just going to go ahead and get him off to bed, and when Melinda comes home, which she has now, she's going to grab herself a bite to eat, and then she'll head herself off to bed. She has gone ahead and got a promotion to paranormal investigator, which is fantastic. We love that she got that promotion. And with that promotion, she does have to start getting some skill building in handiness. So we will go ahead and probably purchase her a handiness book at some point so she can start gaining some skill in handiness. So she'll learn that skill. It looks like her charisma is in tip-top shape, but she will need to learn some handiness. So she's just going to finish up this meal here, and then we're going to send her off to bed. And once they have gotten their rest for the evening, we will go ahead and see them both in the morning and see what it is they're going to go ahead and get up to for the next day. I do figure they probably both have to go to work, so we'll find out what we can do for them in the meantime. So I'll see you in the morning. All right, it is the next morning. Both of them have gotten up. We are just going to go ahead and let her go off to the washroom. Oh, there's dust bunnies everywhere. When she's done with the washroom, we'll have her come in here and do a little bit of vacuuming. I do believe that Andrew is outside. He is probably dealing with some of the gardening. Oh no, he's not. I lied. He is in there getting himself a bite to eat. But we are going to need to check on the gardening to make sure that our plants are doing okay. We're being invited to Himford on Bagley. No, we're not going to go there right now. All right, so come on in here. Let's get this vacuuming done. Andrew, why don't you go ahead and go work on some of the gardening, at least go check on the plants, and we will go ahead and we will let you come out and chat with Andrew a little bit when that is done. Clearly, I want her to have a little bit of a conversation with him, because they didn't really get to see each other a whole lot yesterday, considering the fact that, you know, she had to go to work. Oh, never mind. She's gone off to work again. What is he doing? Checking out the art. Okay, we love that. It does look like he needs to go ahead and take himself a little bit of a shower. So we do have him up here doing that. And we are going to go ahead and let him go to the washroom. And then I'm going to have him go downstairs and just make a little bit of a meal. I think that he would probably, you know, start trying to cook a little bit. I know that Melinda predominantly does majority of the cooking in the house, but I think that he would also know how to cook. So I am going to get him cooking some things just so that he has that skill. Because I do think that he, especially considering the fact that he had lived on his own, I think that he should have that cooking skill and some baking skill, that he would know how to have taken care of himself before he lived with her. And I don't think he actually knows how to cook. So that to me just doesn't seem very realistic. So I am going to have him cook a little bit so that he can get that skill up. And it will make it to where he at least can be self-sufficient a little bit, outside of obviously her just taking care of him all the time. So he is currently making some pumpkin slices, which is fantastic. And we'll just pop those in the fridge. And then he is going to head on up and do that baby mobile. So he is adding a baby mobile to the baby crib for the simple fact that I think that, to be completely honest, they are thinking about expanding their family. They have only just moved in together. They haven't really discussed like marriage and kids at length really, but I think both of them have discussed the fact that one day they would like to have kids. They obviously have a nursery set up in this house, so it is kind of a given that they one day would like to have children. And the fact that there is a nursery in here and this crib is here and it doesn't have a baby mobile, he's like, oh, well, it definitely needs to have that. And so he's gone ahead and taken it upon himself to go ahead and install that. And so we love that he's being proactive like that. I think that's great. I am going to get him working on a little bit more of the charisma skill, just because I think it's a good skill for him to have. So we are going to get him doing that a little bit. And we are really just trying to kill a little bit of time waiting for Melinda to come home from work. And then once Melinda is home from work, obviously they will be able to spend a little bit of time together. I'm hoping that they will obviously be able to interact some. I think that, you know, she works really long hours dealing with ghosts and crossing them over to the other side. And you know, sometimes she comes home and she's really exhausted, but I'm still hoping that they're going to be able to find time to kind of be able to be together. He is kind of feeling a little bit hungry, so he's gone ahead and gone down to grab himself a bite to eat, and he's realizing that it is starting to get a little bit later in the day, and he's hoping that she is going to be able to come home soon, because he is realizing that he's really missing her. But overall, he's feeling really happy. He loves the fact that they have moved in together. He is feeling really a lot closer to her from them moving in together. And it does look like she is desperate for fun. So maybe when she comes home, they can maybe find a little bit of time to spend together romantically. And they could maybe have a little bit of a woohoo. I think that would help to get her fun up a little bit. I don't know. We'll just have to see how that goes, because I think that they would both probably benefit from that. Well, maybe not him. His phone's pretty good. But definitely she would benefit from that. So maybe I could get them to use that blanket out back, and we would be able to let them have a little bit of a woohoo. She is just about done with her shift, and she's going to be coming home. So I am just queuing up right now for them to go ahead and use that woohoo blanket and have themselves a little bit of a woohoo. She's just having a little bit of a conversation with him. She's going to give him some roses because, you know, she loves him. She's missed him today. She's really had him on her mind a lot. And she's just telling him how much she missed him. She's given him a kiss and kissing on his neck even. Like, she's really missed him today while she was at work. She's like, I really missed you. I really am glad I'm home. And he's like, I really missed you too. And she's like, okay, well, I just, you know, I didn't realize that I was going to be working such long hours, but I'm really glad that I'm home and, you know, I'm seeing you. Where are you guys going? They've just like up and decided to leave. What are you doing? Okay, well, let's follow them and see what they're doing, because I have no idea where they're going or what they're doing. They just up and decided to leave the house here. So we're going to follow them and see where they're headed. They've just decided to run off on me. She is feeling extremely flirty right now. It actually looks like both of them are feeling quite flirty. What are you guys doing? Okay, it says... Alright. Oh, they're woohooing. Okay, this must be one of the new woohoo interactions. It says they are woohooing in a motel. Okay. They just decided to autonomously go and woohoo in a motel. I don't know why they would do that, being that they have their own home that they live in, but they decided to go and rent a room together. So we love that for them. I guess they just wanted to go and rent a room randomly, autonomously. We love that for them. So here we are, waiting on them to finish that up here. That's great. It does look like it gave us an option here that we've woohooed in a location, so that's perfect. But we'll go ahead and we'll send them back home. She's feeling really hungry. She's going to need to go ahead and get herself a bite to eat. And then we'll need to get them ready for bed because it is starting to get pretty late. And yeah. They're so funny. I can't believe they just did that. But yeah, they have decided to use the motel services. So we love that for them. So they're going to head themselves on home. We're going to get them back to the house. And then once we do that, we'll go ahead and queue up for Melinda to go and grab herself a bite to eat because she is pretty hungry here. Andrew, I think, is probably in pretty decent shape, but he will probably need to go ahead and get himself headed off to bed. So we'll let him go ahead and do that, and then she'll eat and head herself off to bed as well. Alright, so go on in there and grab yourself a bite to eat. He's going to go ahead and go on in and use the washroom. And then everyone's going to get themselves ready for a bit of sleep. It looks like she is in a bit of a mental fog. She's starting to get really close to burning out at work. So we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on her because she is really close to a burnout. And I definitely don't want that taking place. She's also feeling pretty uncomfortable from the surroundings of the house. So things might be a little bit dirty. So we may need to like start getting things kind of cleaned up in the house a little bit here. It looks like Andrew's got that taken care of, though he is taking the trash out. So aren't you a doll? So that's wonderful that he has taken it upon himself to kind of clean up. She's going to go ahead and head herself off to bed here. And then we'll get Andrew to go on in and go off to bed as well. So that will be beautiful. They'll both go in and get themselves some much needed rest. He's still just cleaning away. We love that for him. All right, when you're done cleaning up, Andrew, go ahead and go take yourself in there and get yourself to bed. I'm just going to go ahead and order her a handiness book. That way she'll have that available to her so that she can start studying some handiness skill for her job. And then I'll put that in her inventory so she can go ahead and read that in the morning. He obviously will need to work on his career stuff in the morning as well. And she can work on dealing with reading for handiness. So perfect. So he's going to go ahead and get himself off to bed here. And I will see you in the morning when they wake. All right, so Andrew's up. He's just going to go and take care of himself, and Melinda is going to go straight to the washroom. She needs to use the washroom and then get herself a bit of a shower. Andrew is getting his needs taken care of as far as getting some breakfast in him, so we love that for him. And then once he is done with breakfast, we're going to go ahead and get him working on probably some of his career needs. And so that's wonderful. Then I'm going to have them do a little bit of conversing with one another. I do want them to have a little bit of a chat. And I do think that he at some point needs to talk to her about his career stuff. So we will have him do that. He is supposed to talk to her about love insights. So I am going to go ahead and queue up for him to kind of talk to her about love insights and see if we can go ahead and meet that goal for him. So we will have to find that information under the romance consultant category. So we will see about talking to her about that. So once he is done with his meal, we'll get him chatting with her. She's currently just going to go, like I said, upstairs and have herself a little bit of a shower. And then I think she's probably going to need to get herself some breakfast too, and then they'll be able to have a nice little conversation together. He is just waiting on her to finish up with her shower so that they can have a little bit of a conversation. You know, you could go ahead and clean up after yourself. You don't have to just sit there. And so he's going to go ahead and head up and try talking with her, it would seem. I don't know that she is kind of in the mood to kind of talk to you before she gets her belly filled up, but you can go ahead and try. So he's going to go ahead and head up here and try to have a little bit of a conversation with her. He's like, okay, maybe not. She's like, all I can think about right now is the fact that I probably need to get myself some breakfast. Maybe, but you also do need to have some conversation with your boyfriend. You guys clearly need to have some discussions. And, you know, he is trying to do his best at his career. And in order to do that, he needs to make sure that he can have these deep conversations with you about romance, and hopefully that will help you meet some romance things as well, Melinda. And she's like, okay. Oh my goodness, I don't know why she's taking that food upstairs, but I do think that that food that she's carrying around is no good. So I kind of hope that she actually doesn't eat that meal, because I'm pretty sure that food's gone off. Yeah, that food's gone off. Please don't eat that. Look at it. It's smelling up the whole house. Oh my goodness. She's feeling really playful this morning. But I think she's probably going to eat that bad food. she's not going to like that very much. I think that's probably going to make her kind of feel ill. But she doesn't seem to be bothered. She's just like, I'm going to eat it. Oh, it's so nasty. Well, why are you eating it? Right, but he's going to go ahead and have these conversations with her while she has her meal. They are discussing the romance things that he needs to discuss for work. And obviously he is feeling really flirty. She's feeling really playful, but he's feeling really flirty. And that's probably because he is talking to her about romance things. And she's like, I'm trying really hard to focus on what you're saying, Andrew. I really am. But there's something off about this meal. And he's like, it's green. Like, do you not see that food's not good? And she's like, well, it was fine when I took it out of the fridge. And he's like, well, it's clearly not fine now. You know, you could have grabbed something else. So these two, what are they doing? They're talking about woohoo again, aren't they? Oh my goodness. They are something else. So they've decided to go on outside here, it looks like, and woohoo again. These two are so very much in love, they just can't keep their hands off one another. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm not. They are absolutely smitten with one another, and I absolutely love that. Like, they're very satisfied romantically in their relationship, which is wonderful. But I just, you know, I'm kind of shocked by how much they kind of want to woohoo. I really am. So they are having a little bit of a woohoo. I don't think this is going to count as a different location, even though we have had a woohoo here and we've had a woohoo at the hotel. I think we actually have to like travel around the world at a different location. So we'll have to actually get them traveling somewhere else in order for that to count towards that aspiration for her. But they are going to finish up this woohoo here, and then I'm going to get her to come in here and maybe make another meal, since it looks like most of the food in the fridge has started to go off. We'll get her cooking a little bit, and then we'll get her working on some of her handiness by reading that handiness book. And I'm going to probably get him to come in and, I don't know if maybe he can work on the computer towards his career goals or not. I think he's probably done everything he can do for his career at this present time, so we'll probably just let him kind of deal with whatever it is he kind of wants to deal with. So these two are going to go ahead and take care of themselves here, and we love that for them. Look how cute they are here on this blanket. I'm just going to get them a little screenshot, and then we'll let them come on inside, and we will get her in the kitchen cooking. He is just going to go ahead and go kind of take care of himself there. He's got to go to the washroom, and she is going to get to cooking in the kitchen here, which is fantastic. I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next LoveBound series episode, where we will see more of Melinda and Andrew, and hopefully we'll be able to meet more things off of her aspiration, and hopefully we will see, I don't know, maybe we'll take them out on a date somewhere and see how they do on that. I will see you guys in the next one, but until next time, I'm gonna go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.